We're projecting torrential rainfall, damaging winds, and flooding concerns to the central coast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mackenzie Lake here with a look at our full Thursday forecast. Take a look at infrared satellite, an impressive storm system slamming into the west coast of the United States. You can see all this moisture is pluming into Santa Maria currently. We're expecting this to drop even further to the south as we head through the day. So first, we're taking a look at our current conditions as you're heading out the door. Take a look at all of these areas of oranges and red color-coded regions, Paso Robles, Atascadero. That's where we're seeing severe weather very early this morning, but the bulk of the storm system doesn't even arrive until about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see here Santa Ynez, some of these high elevation areas picking up on some significant shower coverage and some pretty impressive rainfall rates, close to about an inch or an inch and a half per hour. We're likely going to see multiple inches of rainfall being dumped. Again, torrential rainfall causing flooding impacts, possible road closures. Winds are a big topic of discussion as well. So we're mapping everything out hour by hour so you can stay safe today. It's highly advised to stay home. If you don't have to travel, please don't. The roads are going to be very messy early on. We've been keeping an eye on traffic this morning. We've had multiple accidents and even a few lane closures on the 101. But take a look here. Thursday, starting 10 o'clock in the morning, this is the atmospheric river. This is a plume of moisture, and that fire hose directly pointed right at San Luis Obispo and Paso Robles. Well, that fire hose starts to move further to the south, starting 11:30 in the morning, a massive storm cell moving over Santa Ynez, Santa Maria, California Valley. This is going to be a slow, relatively slow moving system. By 1 p.m., we start to see those major impacts here in Santa Barbara and for the south-facing beaches, and then the atmospheric river finally makes it to Ventura County starting at about 2 p.m. this afternoon. So you can see here storm coverage wise, well, this is going to be the atmospheric river moving through. It's going to dump a significant amount of rainfall within about 10 hours or so, or a little bit less. And then at least by 7 p.m. we begin to dry back out, maybe some light to moderate amounts of thunderstorm development heading into about Valentine's Day morning. But major impacts expected today, possibility of severe weather and damaging winds. So let's take a look at our wind gust modeling here. 52 miles an hour by 10:30 in the morning. Again, you can actually pick up on where the real atmospheric river is based on just how strong these winds are. So 10:30 in the morning, pointed right at San Luis Obispo, 5 cities, our northern communities, beginning to drop a little bit further to the south by about 12 o'clock. But take a look at just how impactful those winds are going to be. Even in high elevation areas, winds could gust upwards of 70 miles an hour. That's not including thunderstorm development. If we see a major supercell develop, well, we could have downbursts of winds causing those winds to gust upwards of 70 miles an hour, possibly greater. That can easily topple over trees and power lines. It's highly advised to park away from trees, to park away from bigger structures as well. By about 9:30 p.m., those winds are still holding pretty steady, but looking to be much less impactful as the rain begins to die out just in time for Valentine's Day. But here's a look at all of our watches, warnings, and advisories. So we are underneath a ton of watches and warnings. Again, today's a severe weather day, bringing really big impacts. So southerly winds 25 to 40 miles an hour in that high wind warning, gusts upwards of 60. But again, we could easily jump those gusts upwards of 70 miles an hour or greater in high elevation areas, due in part to thunderstorms. We have a flash flood watch, so major impacts expected over the lake fire burn scar areas. We're projecting that massive storm cell to cross right over right through the middle of the day. Well, the storm system is going to drop about an inch, possibly an inch and a half of rainfall, and the actual ground can't hold that much moisture. So that's why we're expecting those conditions to change in the blink of an eye. That's why we have evacuation warnings in effect for some areas around that burn scar, and then even interior portions of Ventura County underneath flash flood watch as well. Here's a look at our flood watch. This is an aerial flood watch for San Luis Obispo and our northern communities color-coded in green. Expect to see rivers, smaller creeks overflowing, and pooling and ponding along the US 101, Highway 1, and Highway 154. So all major roads will be impacted. Smaller roads will definitely see those major flooding impacts. And of course, marine conditions are extremely hazardous. Take a look here, the entire area underneath a high surf advisory. This is going to be we're seeing those breaking waves anywhere from 10 to 15 feet, but local sets upwards of 20 feet. So it might sound impressive. You might be tempted to head out the door, but these are imperative situations precautions that you stay inside. Make sure to keep an eye on the forecast as it's going to change over the next few hours or so as the storm system unfolds. And of course, what we're expecting major issues with: rainfall amounts, winds, thunderstorm development. Take a look at temperatures. We're back up into the 50s and 60s. So keep an eye on the forecast, have multiple ways of gathering emergency information, and stay extra safe today. Have a good one.